I do my best to be creative while teaching, and a lot of that comes from loving what I do, which I feel is the number one factor for finding new ways, new techniques, new strategies, new perspectives. Because if you don't love what you do, you shouldn't be doing it. I do understand sometimes there are situations that you kind of forced into doing something that you have to do. But like I was telling one of my SAT students a few years ago, if you don't like reading and you have to get through a reading passage, because this student was an international football player in his high school days, and he needed the SAT because the university that he was applying to required certain minimum SAT scores, even though he was getting in because of his football, soccer. And I told him, find enjoyment in what you're doing, because if you keep telling yourself the reading passages are so difficult, I don't like reading, it gets even more difficult. It's kind of like an internal dialogue, but more than an internal dialogue. It's attitude, perspective, all these are overused words, but it's a sense that I control what I like, and consciously trying to like what you have to do can make you do it better. So if you're in the teaching business and you don't want to be, but you have to do it, start liking it. And when you start loving what you do, you'll just get better at it, find new ways of doing things and new strategies. So it'll just make life better, life easier, and it'll be better for the students. So that comes to my second bit about teaching creatively, to come from a student perspective, because there are so many times when I was a student that I wasn't treated the way I'd want to be treated, and I'm sure that many students I teach come from different backgrounds, different perspectives, and not just customizing my approach to each one, but couple of things in this sort of space. One bit is just ignoring any annoying behavior and not letting it get to you. And if someone seems disrespectful, just let it go. It's not the old days where I feel it's not the old days where you think I'm a teacher, I have to be respected, students have to respect me. All that is passé. And if you love what you do enough, the student perspective will naturally follow. So that I'm making an espresso for myself. I have a class in about an hour or so, a little less than an hour. When the clock strikes midnight, I'm looking forward to it. But as I'm waiting, I thought I'll be useful to you if I can, and encourage you to have a student perspective and truly care. Because if you feel like, no, I care about myself, I'm doing it because I have to for whatever reason, find a reason to care for your student. It will make the student's life better and your life better. So the third bit about teaching creatively is getting feedback from stakeholders. So stakeholders in my case currently is the students obviously, and parents, because getting feedback from the people who spend the most time with the students and what they want for the student will help me as a teacher get better results, because that's what we want. We want results. We want the student to primarily well in school with my K-12 work, and get a fantastic SAT score with my digital SAT classes. So to get results, it is so important to get feedback for me from parents, and what's working, what's not working, how the students like the class. And in my GMAT days about 1.5 decades ago, it was the I was dealing with young adults mostly, so I would try to understand why they're writing the GMAT, what kind of score they want. Because each one has different goals, and I want to tune myself so that results are best achieved specifically for each student. And it's not always about just getting the great grades. It's about, in my current work with creative math, developing curiosity, developing the right attitude to studying, and in general working hard, which I do my best to do, so that I live by example, so that students hopefully see me working super hard and doing my best to be creative, so that students do that as well. And the last bit, which I feel is probably the most important, so why I was going to say, why are you teaching? But this is not just for teachers. This is, as a teacher, why am I teaching? Yeah, why am I doing what I'm doing? So very often a profession, or I wouldn't say a skill, but a situation chooses you. So I didn't consciously choose to be a teacher. In 2006, when I wrote my GMAT and made a 770 on it, people started flocking to me and asking me, can you help me with my GMAT? And I did what I could, and I ended up teaching professionally, and later on started teaching tweens and teens and kids, but mostly teens and tweens from 2015. So doing that has chosen me more than I have chosen it, but I have a choice to either put my 100% in it, or feed other energies, feed other options. And being good at it helps, but consciously doing it because you want to do it is the reason that I'm still doing it. Longevity doesn't come from a situation choosing you. Longevity comes from conscious choices, from finding reasons that are so strong, so powerful, bigger than yourself, to do what you're doing. Now I think I've reached a stage where many of my goals just revolve around my teaching, and a lot of my work and my well-being, the money I'm earning. I'm a proud tax-paying resident of the United Arab Emirates, solopreneur, sole establishment, and so happy to be paying VAT. The Creative AI app that I'm building is also made keeping in mind that many teenagers will hopefully use the app and benefit from it. But I think one key aspect that I didn't give enough importance to during the past 8-9 minutes or so that I've been on this monologue is studying. That the fact that I am studying gives me so much energy and so much enthusiasm, so much enthusiasm to teach, because the fact that I'm studying for an MSc in artificial intelligence keeps me so informed, so up to date with cutting edge technology. Not that I don't do other education. I listen to Tony Robbins from his inner circle, and selected podcasts. But education is a very big part of my life, and the fact that I'm teaching gets so much better because I'm studying. And I think that's one big aspect of teaching creatively, is that studying is incorporated in the process of teaching. And I hope you enjoyed this discourse. I would be very happy to hear from you, either through a comment or a direct message on WhatsApp, if I can be of use to you in a way that's more engaging, either through teaching your child or more information about the app I'm building, I would be very happy to get in touch with you and do more work. I'm on my staycation and I have my class of further math and GCSE statistics in 15 minutes as the clock strikes midnight. Looking forward to it. Bye for now. Until my next video.